Hi everyone, today we're back with part 2 from our AI Clearing Crunch series. Last time we went over the student journey and how it had been impacted by AI. If you didn't catch that one, you can head over to our LinkedIn where you can find it there. Today we're going to give you some practical actions and some quick wins that you can take away now that clearing is officially open. As part of our ongoing research into the role of mobile, one of the biggest misconceptions that we see is that students will simply search for universities when they're ready, and increasingly that's not the case. So students will arrive with perceptions that are already shaped from influences like AI recommendations, social media, peer discussions, family influence, and this is where familiarity becomes extremely important. If an AI tool recommends a university that students never heard of, then instantly that trust can be low. However, on the flip side, if they've already seen student stories, campus imagery or videography, if they've seen different course messaging or university branding, that recommendation straight off the bat will feel a lot more credible. So this is where mobile plays a really powerful role as it reinforces that recognition. It builds familiarity, it creates confidence before the final decision is even made. And the most useful thing to remember is the speed at which a mobile campaign can go live. It can be optimized and it can be adapted. For example, if one course gets filled, then that campaign can be paused and the budget can be shifted elsewhere to another course which needs a little bit more support. Following on from our webinar, we received a really interesting question from one of our local universities in the north, and it was around how location intelligence is creating relevance. So this year, we're seeing a trend towards more practical decision making from both students and parents, and they're increasingly considering things like cost of living, commuting, accommodation, distance from home, and they're even looking into things like employment opportunities. Now, mobile's unique location targeting capabilities enable universities to directly address these concerns. Campaigns can be targeted around commuter corridors, sixth forms, we can look into transport hubs, shopping centres, and even competitor catchment areas. And by doing this, universities are going to ensure that their messaging is highly relevant. A common mistake that we see is when teams try to communicate one message to multiple audiences. So in the case of education, students and parents have very different priorities. When we look at the students, they tend to be a lot more focused on things like student experience, nightlife, socialising, what level of independence they're going to have, belonging, and even things like future aspirations. Whereas your parents, on the other hand, priorities are different. They want to know things about the safety, what level of support their child is going to get, value for money, what accommodation costs are like, and of course, graduate outcomes. So when universities separate that messaging properly, performance significantly improves. Even small changes in tone of voice can make such a massive difference. And the great thing about mobile is that we can deliver these campaigns to very bespoke audiences with far greater accuracy than other digital channels. So one point that we really want to emphasise is the importance of speed. So the best performing universities don't tend to be the ones with the largest budgets. They're usually the ones that are able to react the quickest. So what does this mean? It means that they're able to quickly update their creative, that they can reallocate their spend rapidly. They can respond to course demand. You're able to monitor performance daily and optimize continuously. Clearing isn't a campaign that can simply be planned for and left alone. It's a live and dynamic environment where success will come from agility. So mobile gives universities the ability to deliver changes at pace and react to new situations faster than other channels might. And this is definitely worth considering when planning your clearing strategies for this year and also for years to come. So I'd like to give you 5 key takeaways that will help you navigate this year and into the future. So number 1, ask AI about your university. Find out what AI is saying about your institution, what strengths does it associate with you, and even what doesn't appear. Understanding your current AI visibility is so crucial. For those who watched our previous webinar, you will have seen that we created an AI education index where we basically ranked different universities and their AI presence. If you would like to know more about where your university sits, then get in touch and we can talk to you about our reputation engineering. Number 2, refresh your mobile creative. So many universities will still use creative that is designed for desktop style browsing. Clearing requires much more simpler, faster, and more emotional, relevant messaging. You also need to make sure that you switch the creative up to avoid things like creative fatigue. Number 3, make sure you separate that parent and student messaging. As we spoke about before, the different audiences have different concerns, so make sure you treat them differently. Number 4, build hyperlocal targeting. So use commuter, regional, and catchment insights to make sure that your campaigns are relevant. And lastly, prepare for fast optimizations. So make sure your media, your marketing, and your admissions teams can react quickly during results week. So I'm going to leave you with one final thought. Despite all this talk about AI, the clearing process hasn't become less human. If anything, it's become clear how emotional of a decision it is. And students still want confidence, they still need that reassurance, they still need the validation that they are making the right decision. And the universities that will perform the best this year won't necessarily be the ones that are the loudest. It's going to be those universities that are the most recognisable, the ones that are the most trusted and most responsive to these students. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for watching today. If you would like to speak about anything in more detail, if you want to talk about your AI visibility, your mobile programmatic, or even your clearing strategy for this year, then we would be more than happy to speak with you. Thank you.